Let's try again. Say a prayer. Say a little prayer. 2 weeks in a row. I shut down a lot of things to get this restarted. That's like what do they call it when you really go crazy? when you make the ultimate final step and you really don't want to, it was like that. The final blow everything up. So I'm hoping this works better. I'm hoping it was worth it. I hope. There's one button that I think I clicked that has to do with all this system that when you use it, it could go bad, and it's been going bad. So yeah. All right. Take Two Tuesday again. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. Okay. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I guess my question for you should be, if you're in the chat, you got to answer. Got to help me keep things rolling here. You see, I've got some green stuff behind me. I guess I could kind of wear this for a minute. It's kind of little, but so I've got my green. I've got my green. Are you wearing green today? This hat will not stay. Are you wearing green today? That is our first question. Are you celebrating St. Patrick's Day? Let me know. Do you have some green on? And why is that important? Well, I read about it because, I don't know. I guess I have extra time on my hands. And the reason you want to wear green is because if you wear green, this is the folklore. It makes you invisible to leprechauns. Then they can't see you, and then they can't pinch you. That's where I always wondered why, if you had to wear green not to get pinched. Well, the folklore is that these little leprechauns are kind of naughty, I guess, and they do naughty things. And one of the things they'll do is try to pinch you. But if you wear green, then you're invisible. And that is what the internet says. Oh, that is what the internet said. So if you see below, we're going to have a crafting corner this Thursday, and there are going to be some new items when we come on. So let me know in the chat if you're wearing green. We had our men's group today, and I think I had one or two of the guys who had green, but nope. So I see a few people out there wearing green and a few nopes. So hello, everybody. I shouldn't have that banner on, but we're just going to go right for it. Crafting Corner this Thursday. If you've never watched a Crafting Corner, make sure you stop by and check it out. The best way you can get notified about that is, down below us, there is a button that says subscribe. So if you subscribe to the Stamps of Life channel, you'll get notifications when we go live. I only go live once a week for Take Two Tuesday, where we go back in time, look at some dies, look at some stamps, some older products from the Stamps of Life that some of you already have, and some of them are already new to you. So that's what we do here once a week. But then Stephanie usually has a couple different episodes. She does No Makeup Monday, Crafting Corner on Thursday, and then we have our specials. So if you subscribe, if you hit that subscribe button, you'll get notifications. But the key thing is, once you hit subscribe, there's that little bell. You've got to hit that little bell. And when you hit the bell, it says all, and you want to pick all. That way you get all of the notifications. Now, if it ever gets to the point where you get too many notifications, which we don't do that many, you can turn it off. But that's the best way to get notified when I go live here or Stephanie goes live. And so what we do here is we do a little crafting. And the first part, I'm going to show you a die set that's a card base from a few years ago. Really is a nice card base that I think you will like. And I'm going to show that to you. And I'll kind of piece together a card. I'll show you some fun ideas. And then after that, we'll go kind of away from it's not really business, but the first part of the fun section. And then the second part, we're going to do a little quiz about fairy tales. So this is kind of the just for fun, hanging out, a little bit extra time, challenging our minds. We'll do that. And then we'll do our good news segment at the end, where we'll be in Psalm 143. That is written by our friend David in the Old Testament. So Psalm 143, and we'll get some good news for him. So I'm hoping everything is working now. It seems like everybody is, I don't hear any more blurry noise notes, so that's good. So my fault. I started a little late today, but now I'm really late. So let's see. I'm going to say hi to a couple hot people here, Diane, Veer, and Peggy. I'm glad you guys were all able to find me once we switch things over. Rochelle, I've been praying for you. I hope you are doing well, keeping healthy. Norma, oh, that was top of my list. Let me get rid of this thing down below me. I want to say, because I forgot to do this last week, Norma and also Jennifer, they came to our store last week and they brought us some treats. So I really want to say thank you to Norma and Jennifer. It was very, very nice. Shared those with the team around here. A couple of them made it home, but not too much. But thank you so much for bringing in the treats for us. We always enjoy that. And it gets us a little energy boost on a slow day. Last Tuesday was kind of slow, the store day, but made it fun to see you both and appreciate that. And for everybody who came by to see us, thanks. Let's see what else is going on. We have a new card kit. We have a bunch of clubs starting at just $13.99, but this is our new card kit. And we actually have been shipping it out the last couple of days. All right. So if you want to join the Card Kit Club, great time to join. I don't have a card sample, but I want to show you what comes in this kit. And you're really going to like it. If you're a Card Kit Club member, these kits are going out to you. We are shipping. Let me switch over. Nice paper pad. All right. So it is connected with, if you are in the Die Hard Club or Stamp Club, we are doing Ice Cream Cuties. Well, you get all this fun coordinating. Let's see if I can roll through it here. Cardstock, pattern paper rather, in your kit. Really, really nice. Nice spring, cool colors. That's fun. We have some embellishments. That's neat. Little pearl dots. So these guys are cute. The little ice cream cones. You get those. Some sweet hello stickers. Epoxy stickers there. Those are nice. You get the theme of this kit is called welcome. So you're going to get that die, and that's what it says, welcome, welcome. You get a postcard, cardstock ribbon. Oh, these fun stickers. Let me show you those stickers. You get those. Those are kind of fun, guys. That's the ribbon. But the special thing, and Stephanie showed this off last Saturday, this is included in your kit. It is an A1 box card die set. All right. A1 box card die set. So that folds up. You can mail it, but wow, so many possibilities. Of course, this has the kind of theme of ice cream, but you can add any little characters you want in there. You can decorate your box, make it however you want to look, but all the dies for that are right in here. This just by itself is like $27.99. Just by itself, a box card die set. So if you haven't tried one of these, they are awesome. So much fun. We have a 5x7 version of the box card, and we also have a A2 size. So this is a little bit smaller, an A1, but this comes in your kit. So that is really special. Let's see what else. So that card kit is going out. That will be exciting. Let's get this stuff cleared out of here. And what else other news did I have to say? What other news did I have to share with you guys? I did the, oh, if you haven't been on the website, definitely want to go there. Now, a couple of the new items on the website that came out on Saturday have, well, one's down to 5. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let me show you. Okay, here we go. So on the website, and I'll get rid of that banner down there. Get rid of that. Where are we? Website. Is it this one? I'm just guessing. Yes, new items on the website. These came out on Saturday night. So the 5x7 bunny, we are down to 5 of those left. So if you want to get that one, get your order in. We will reorder it. But just 5 left. This guy, the lollipop holder, is sold out. You can hit that notify me button if you want to get notified. It'll probably come back in stock in another 2 to 3 weeks. And then the tooth fold it over there is a fun one also. Fold it, lollipop holder, 5x7 folded. So you got a little variety there. This one will be coming back soon, the bunny and carrot. We got all the good Easter stuff for you right here. Or if you have a missing tooth, hopefully none of you do, but if you do, if you know somebody who, grandkid or a child, somebody who's lost a tooth, that would be fun for that. And it'll just make somebody smile if you just send them a big tooth. Whoa, my alarm's going off here. That's terrible. That means we're really, really late. Really, really late. All right, let's get the show on the road. I think that's everything I needed to update you on. What else is down here? Did I talk about that? I did Crafting Corner. I told you about the March card kit. And I said Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I did see somebody mention, and just for fun question is, do you like corned beef and cabbage? I was at Costco the other day, and they, at Costco, you have to buy everything huge. And so I didn't buy it. They had corned beef, like where it's already flavored and everything. And you just pop it in the oven and you cook it real slow. I almost got it, but it was like $30 for a chunk of corned beef. Now, normally I wouldn't eat it just like as something to order off the menu, but every once in a while it's pretty good. My grandpa, he was in the restaurant business. He used to make really good corned beef and cabbage. So let me know if you like it. Are you a fan of corned beef and cabbage? That's kind of a St. Patrick's Day thing. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, so I don't, in the past, I have made corned beef and cabbage, but I haven't done it for a few years, and I was too cheap the other day at Costco. So the corned beef did not make it home. Okay, so I'm going to do things a little bit different this time. Normally I show you a bunch of card samples, but before we do that, I'm going to get right to the die set that we're using. And I want to make sure this is maybe on it. No. Okay, great. So I know. Okay, we are looking at today, I'll show you real quick, the Double Z card die set. Double Z A2. It makes an A2 card and it has a lot of motion. See all that? It folds. We'll come back to the website here, but that is what I'm going to show you today. Double Z folding card die set. Looks like this. This is what you get. And it is actually from, I better grab that, from October of 2021. Now, if you have this one, it's great. If you see right here, you can use the band here. I just want to let you know it can fold without the band here. You can add it. We'll add it to the card we have today. But there's a lot of different possibilities. You have all these extra panels that you can decorate. It gives you a lot of space to write with, add your messages, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so Double Z card die set. If you have it, I really want to encourage you to use this one. When you see the card samples, you'll go, oh yeah, that's why I should be using it. So I'll show you the card samples here in a second. But first, I'm going to go ahead and die cut with this, all right? Bunch of dies. But there's just one big die that does the base. The other ones are kind of for decoration, so you can pick and choose. This die set includes 19 dies. But like I said, one big die will do your card base. You're going to have a couple extras for the panel. So let's check it out. We're going to move over and do that now. Let's do it. All right, there's my die cutting machine and my die set. We need a little more light, Brighten that up. Looks a little blue, which makes sense because I do have some blue lights in here. So that's kind of makes sense. Let's brighten that up a little bit. Good. One more, maybe one more. Come on. Oh, there we go. All right, got it. So that is our die set. And I'm going to go ahead and take the large die out of here. Let me grab that. And I'm going to show you how to cut the card base. So if you're not new to card making, this is a die. It has what we call blades on here. They're not really sharp. Like I can run my fingers on it. But these blades will, when they run through this machine, there's pressure that if you have a piece of cardstock under here, these will press into the cardstock. It will cut it. These outside lines will cut it. And some of these lines will not cut, but they'll score it, which means gives us fold lines. So we don't have to measure anything. This die is going to make an A2 size card. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's see, I will get a sheet of cardstock here. And I'm going to go ahead and make my base. And to save some time, I did cut some panels out ahead of time. Let's see, I don't want to use that color. We need to go with something a little different. Let's try this one. That looks good. All right, so my cardstock, it's still brown. I thought that was black. Let's see. Have everything but black. Interesting. I was hoping to have a nice dark background this time around. So let's see if I can find a sheet. No. Sorry. Hang in there. You're all. This is kind of what Stephanie does. I try not to do this, but here I am. All right, here we got something nice and dark. Stephanie always, because Stephanie is way better at this than me. She can just, not plan ahead at all and just come out and make a card easy. Me, I got to think about it a little bit ahead of time. I got to get all my stuff ready and lined up so I don't waste a bunch of your time. But I'm just making the card base here, show you real quick and easy how it is to cut that out. So again, the die cutting machine, it's pressing down on the die into the cardstock. Okay. Most of you, I'm sure, know this, but if you are new, this might be something you haven't learned about. If you're new, also, please jump in the chat and let us know you're new. We like to welcome everybody, and don't be shy. Everybody's welcome into the chat to answer our questions, our fun questions, and especially to participate, like when we do our quiz, our fairy tale quiz game today, and also when we do even our Bible devotional. I'd love to hear some comments. If you need prayer for anything, please, you can add that in the chat too. So here's our A2 card. Now, normally they just fold just like that, but you see it's got the extra score lines for us. All right, so we're able to fold it once, and then to get the Z effect, we kind of fold that back like that. And there we have our card base. So it has the motion like that. I have ahead of time. Let me fix things here. I'm going to move my machine out of the way and show you what I've done. I have cut out some of the pieces, some of the panels ahead of time to save us some time. Let me see. I'm going to put something down here so it looks a little bit nicer. I'm not sure how this color will look, but let's give it a shot. I'm going to lay out all the pieces here so you can see what I've done. So here is the die set that we just ran through the machine. That is our die, our double Z there. And it created this card here. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see. And then I went ahead and I cut out some extra pieces that will fit into this panel. So I did a couple of, this will be for our little bar going across, the strip that goes across, kind of decorative. Here's a panel and another panel. And just so you know, hey, well, how did you get all of these? Did you have to measure them or cut them by hand? Nope. So these two dies here, they created these pieces. And then this one is for our panel here. And then this one does the larger panel. Okay, so you see how all that works. So everything I cut here to put together was from the die set, the double Z card die set. All right, so everything's here. I'm going to move these dies out of the way, keep them all together. And I'm going to go ahead and put this card together. Let's see if we can do it. All right, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, make sure I have everything right. That piece is going to go in there. These colors are going to go over there. And like I said, that little strip that goes across. And this has a fold in it. So it does fold and gives us some of that extra motion down here at the bottom. You can use this, but you don't necessarily have to. Kind of optional, I look at the package and I'm going, well, I want to make it just like that. But that is up to you. You can use it or you don't have to. Your choice. Let's zoom in a little bit more still. All right, so here we go. I'm going to get some adhesive. And I am going to go ahead and put this together. Now, this would look nice even here, but I chose to do a solid on the inside since I have this as a pattern. So that piece kind of is getting used up for the back of our card. And unfortunately, you won't get to see it, but this is just an example of the nice colors that you get in our pattern paper pads. We have a great selection of those on our website. So I'm just going to add that in there, kind of center it, press it down. And then next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this panel on here. So let's do that. And I am I'm going to add a little here and there. We'll add this on the front. Goes just like that. And then, oh, you know what I was thinking? Hey, we are just about out of winter. Are you guys ready for spring? Are you guys ready for spring? I am. And you know, it is almost like summer down here today in Southern California. It's going to be like around 85 or 90 here at the building. But what are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to as we move out of winter and into spring? What are you looking forward to? Throw me an answer there in the chat. What are you looking for? For me, I'm looking for, you know, one of the things I really like about getting into spring is I don't like when they make the clock change, but I really like having more light at the end of the day. So I'm going to enjoy that. But what do you like about springtime? Let me get some scratch paper here. As we go into winter and go into spring, what pops into your mind that really makes you happy? Because most people are happy at springtime of the year. So winter is going away and spring is coming on. So I am going to add some adhesive on this strip. Now, this part of the card has a lot of motion. So if you were making it, you might want to use glue, or I just added a little adhesive here. You might want to add a lot because you really want this to hold in place and really be sturdy. And then I'm going to add a little on each corner here. Again, these are spots where you might want to use glue. You might want to use even extra adhesive compared to what I am using, okay? So then this is going to just fit right on. I believe it goes right there. Well, we better do this other panel here. First, let's get this panel on. We didn't get any adhesive on this, so let's do that before we forget. I'm going to add that here. And of course, you can add words and all your extra decorations and all that stuff. I'm just trying to show you how easy it is just to get the panel done. Now, it's a little bit crooked. You don't have to be perfectionist here, but we don't want to see that crazy lines all out of shape, not lining up correctly. Okay, that is looking good. Then I just need to adhere that to that right there. And so I'm going to go ahead and press down on that. There we have it. The base of all the card. Could you add something extra there? Yes. Could you do solids here and make your patterns there? Yes. There's also this, you could do a different background here. You could mix up all kinds of different options. But here we have our Z fold card. Mine is a little crooked there, so let's see if I can't rearrange that. The Z fold die set, A2 size card, and it will open up just like that. Easy, easy, easy. Again, my lines are off, and that really drives me kind of nuts. If I didn't notice it, I would just go, all right, great. So that will fold down. That will fit in a regular size card envelope, an A2 size card. Double Z, super easy, super fun. I really like this one, and I'm going to show you next the card samples. All right, A2 double Z folding card, and I would call it like an interactive card. It's got some motion in here, and again, I like to think I'm using this, but you don't have to. And I'm even going to line this up. It's a little bit off alignment. All right, you can find that on the Stamps of Life website. We've had it since October of 2021. So I will put that off to the side, and that will be a card that if I want to finish off, I could send it out sometime in the future. Definitely. Great. All right, so let's move away from there for a second. Back over here. All right, I hope you guys like that die set. I thought it was fun. Let's see. Yeah. Rochelle says she's got to go through her stash and find it. Yes, it's got to, if you've got it, Rochelle, you definitely want to use it. And I see, yeah, everybody's saying sunshine. They're happy about spring warmth. Yes. All that snow will melt away. Open the windows at home. That's a good one. Spring flowers, bike riding, good ones. You guys have a lot of good ones. Good, good. Okay. So we looked at that. Now I got to show you the website because we didn't check that out yet. And then we'll go over to the samples. Whoops, there we go. So here we are on the website, and you can scroll through there. There'll be some great samples. Look, wintertime, birthday. See how much more fancy these cards are than the ones I made. But really, really, you can do so much. Welcome, baby. And there's a video for that. And there's the die set. That's all you get right there. If you scroll down, there will be some other card bases. Maybe something else interests you. That is all down below. And let me clean up this little station here so we have some room to look at our card samples. We're going to do that. Put my mat away, and let's see if we've got this lined up or not. Okie dokie, here we go. Is that going to work? Maybe. I tried to line this up before, but then when we had to restart and everything, I don't know if it worked out. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Here we go. Card samples galore. Now, if you see something, whoop, and you really like the card, whoops, hide current comment. Sorry, SMA, I didn't mean to put your comment up there. If you see a sample you like, this video is recorded, so you can go back and watch it again. Maybe you want to see that sample and it's not on the website, you can find it again in this website. So here we go on our website or in this video. So I'm going to run through these because there are a lot. Thinking of You card. And this looks like from the front of the die set, actually, the packaging that was on there. Here's that happy birthday. So you can add your own little extra dies here. That's the balloons. You can add that to this. Very nice. And look at all the different colors too, you know. It's can be used in different seasons. Hello, winter. We're going to be saying goodbye, winter. Goodbye, winter. Thinking of you. Here, when we're talking about spring, summer, we're going to get out in the pool. Happy summer. Floating by to say happy summer. Here's that baby card. I won't open this one. With some balloons up there. Add some flowers. Hello. Look at this great hello card. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And here we have Christmas again. We're thinking Christmas. I know it's only March, but Christmas card making will not be far away. Here's a bonus. Thinking. Maybe that fell off a card. I don't know. We'll find out. Love you. That's cute with our bears on there. And another happy birthday. Perfect. Whoops. And look at this happy birthday. Another nice colorful card. It's got a lot of bright colors on there. Oh, this one's cool. If you like gnomes. Too bad we don't have some leprechauns. We could add some little leprechauns to that. But look at that. Happy fall. That's a ways away, but a fall card. What else do I have? I have a few more here. This one's cool with our little love bug guys. You're a friend of mine, it says. Look at all those pretty colors on there. Oh, so again, it comes with the bubbles as a panel and also the hearts. So you see the hearts. So you could use it just as a grid, or you can also fill in the colors. So those both are included. Back to bubbles. That's a nice kind of basic one. I wonder, I bet those look like they belong to this card, huh? Somehow they came apart. We fold these things and put them away, and sometimes when we save them, they get roughed up a little bit. And our last one is Thinking of You. And there's an example, again, how you can use that heart grid. Some open, you fill in some of the spots with some different colors. Looks really, really nice. Really, really nice. So that is our die set we're looking at today. Hope you enjoyed that. And that is available on the Stamps of Life website. And again, we're doing this because I think a lot of you might have this already. I just want to remind you that you want to use it. You want to use it. So even like the new Cuties ice cream Die Hard Club set that came out on March 1st, you can mix and match those stamps and dies with this card base. So think of that, mixing some new things with some old things. We want you to get the most value out of everything that you purchase from us. We think that makes it, again, more valuable to you and something that you're going to enjoy. something that you are going to enjoy. All right, let me get rid of that. It is game time. We are moving on. We did our Stamps of Life stuff. We're going to play a fairy tale quiz here. So I think we have like 15 questions. So you're going to help me out in the chat. You got to help me out in the chat. Let's get rid of this. And then you're going to answer in the chat. And hopefully, I think there's 15 questions. We'll see if we can get them all right. Some of these might be fairy tale questions from the real, you have to really read it. But I think they give us options to choose from. So here we go. Let me grab this quiz and I'm going to share this screen with you. I've got it. And let's share where is it? Present share a screen. All right, here we go. Our fairy tale quiz. Why are we doing fairy tale? Because we're kind of thinking of leprechauns. I think leprechauns are kind of fairy tale. But if you believe in leprechauns, maybe you believe in some of this other stuff on this fairy tale. So this is for fun. All right, here we go. Here we go. Our first question. Goldilocks ate up the mother bear's porridge. Is that true? Or is it false? True or false? Number one there. Goldilocks ate up mother bear's porridge. I thought she just took a taste of each one. One was too hot, one was too cold, one was just right. Did she eat it all? I think that's the question. Yes or no? False, false, false. Everybody's saying false. Okay. Wow, you guys are quick on that one. False. Okay, they're not telling us, so we're going to get the answers at the end. We'll know how many we got right. In what year was Sleeping Beauty first published? Okay, not the movie, but the book. In what year do you think Sleeping Beauty was first published? Sleeping Beauty. Oops, I got something extra here, sorry. Answer in the chat. Sleeping Beauty. Diane says 1787. That was quick, Diane. Anybody else? Anybody else? How can I get back over there? And then we got a 1634. Anybody else? Oh, we've got two 1634s and a 1787. I have no idea. So let's see. I'm going to go back over here. Do they still have that as false? Yes. Okay. So we're going to go with the one that had two responses. Never read that book until I was an adult. Okay, we're going to go 1634. We don't know. 1634. In the original fairy tale, the prince renames Thumbelina to what name? In the original fairy tale, there's a Thumbelina. I thought Thumbelina was modern. So in the original fairy tale, the prince renames Thumbelina to what name? Does anybody know that? What does Thumbelina get renamed to? I am really stumped. I don't know any of these. I would be 0 for 3, you guys, so far. I'm totally dependent on you Jews. Anybody know what the prince renames Thumbelina? Fiona? Jasmine? Is it May or Meredith? Fiona. We got a couple Fiona guesses. Jasmine's not on. Oh, Jasmine's. Oh, gosh. So let's try Fiona, okay? What did Hansel and Gretel leave as a trail in order to find their way home on the second time? Was it torn paper, gumdrops, leaves, or breadcrumbs? I'm guessing gumdrops, but you guys let me know. What did Hansel and Gretel leave as a trail in order to find their way home on the second time? Bread. Okay, bread. Yeah, why would there be gumdrops back in this time? Okay, breadcrumbs. What is the literal meaning of the name Rumpelstiltskin? This is going to be tricky. What is the literal meaning of the name Rumpelstiltskin? Is it a wrinkled little man, a crazy little man, a little rattle stilt, a little name stealer? My guess is the first one, but what do you guys guess? What does Rumpelstiltskin mean? Wrinkled little man? That's my guess. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Wrinkled. That's Diane. I think I'm going to vote for that one unless somebody just... Okay, well, we're going to try it. Number 6, what color was the apple that the evil stepmother, the witch, gave to Snow White to eat? Was it green? Was it white and red? Was it red and yellow? Or was it just red? What color was the apple? I would guess it's just red, but you guys tell me. Oh, name stealer, Jamie says. Oh, red, Susan says. Anybody else? Red, 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 red. Just red. Okay, just red. Who published the original Rapunzel fairy tale? Was it Aesop, the Grimm brothers, Arne Thompson, or Andrew Lang? So who, I guess, wrote and published the original Rapunzel fairy tale? Does anybody know that? Anybody know that one? Rapunzel. I don't know. I think I've heard of Aesop, but I don't know. Grimm? Diane says Grimm. Anybody else? Oh, we're getting slow on these answers. Grimm brothers. Okay. That's interesting. 2 brothers wrote a Rapunzel fairy tale. In the tale of the 3 billy goats gruff, what lives under the bridge that the goats must cross? Is it a troll, a goblin, a witch, or a dragon? What lives under the bridge? Gosh, I thought I knew some fairy tale stuff, but I know nothing. I know nothing. I know nothing. Troll. Okay, troll. Everybody's guessed a troll. I was thinking that. What were the names of the 3 little pigs? I don't know this one. Was it Larry, Peter, and Paul? Was it not mentioned? Was it Oscar, Hamlet, and Ribsy? Or is it Twinkle, Winkle, and Wrinkle? I don't think they had names. Not mentioned, Diane says. That's what I say. I say not mentioned. Not mentioned. Do the 3 little pigs have names? Let me know in the chat real quick. But I say not mentioned. Okay, we're going with that. Number 10, who wrote The Little Mermaid? Jeanette Hassenflug. It wasn't Disney, everybody. Charles Perrault, Hans Christian Andersen, or Charles Dickens? Who wrote The Little Mermaid? I'm going to guess it's a girl who wrote it. I'm guessing Jeanette. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, you guys. Let me know. Is it Jeanette? Hans. Whoa. Is it really Hans, you guys? I can't believe it. I get a gong for that one. I thought for sure it had to be the girl. Where are my sound buttons? That's what I get. I'm going to guess Hans, since you guys said Beauty and the Beast hails from what country? Beauty and the Beast. England, Germany, France, or Sweden? France, right? France. Beauty and the Beast, France. Let me know in the chat. We're almost done. This is number 11. Beauty and the Beast, which country? I'm guessing France. You guys all had Hans on that one. Is it France? France? Deb says France. SMA says France. Okay, let's go France. Jack and the Beanstalk is a well-known and popular tale of a young man who must deal with a giant at the end of a beanstalk. The giant usually said the following when a human was nearby. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. What was the second part of his saying? Is he alive? Is he dead? The answer is something I do dread. If he's alive or if he's dead, he better not steal my gold or bread. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones for my bread. Ooh, I think it's that one. He might be alive or he might be dead. The less we speak of him, the better said. I'm guessing the one, bones for my bread. This is the first one, the second one, third one, or fourth. I don't know. I've seen too many Disney versions of these. I can't picture what the giant says to Mickey. Third one. That's the bread one. Hey, I guessed that one. Yes. Woo. That is my guess. I get an applause for that one. If we're right. Okay. Number 13. How did the frog turn into a prince in the original telling of the Grimm brothers' Frog Prince? Hey, these guys wrote a bunch of stuff. Her father, the king, commanded the change. She kisses him. The princess throws him against the wall and discuss a wish of the princess changed him. It's the kiss, right? This is a trick question. I'm saying this is the kiss. She kissed him, right? She kissed the frog. Isn't that what they always say? Kiss the frog, right? Kiss the frog. She kisses him. 14. In the Norwegian fairy tale, The Princess on the Glass Hill, or the Glass Mountain, what three objects does the princess hold? The Princess on the Glass Hill. I never heard this. Or Glass Mountain. Silver pears, a sword, a crown, a staff, golden apples, a ruby, a diamond, and an emerald. Trick question. I never heard of this. What is this one? What is this one? Does anybody know? The Princess on the Glass Hill. Trick question. Nobody's answering. I think this one is unknown. It's three different things. It doesn't seem like she would have a sword. Number 2, it is a sword. Susan, is that for this question number 14? Are you saying number 2? Nobody else knows this one. Gosh. I don't know. I'm going to say this one. This sounds like princess stuff to me. A ruby, a diamond, and emerald. Last one, Pinocchio, from the Italian fairy tale by Carlo Collodi, does not appreciate the advice of the talking cricket. What does he do to the cricket to get him to stop giving him unwanted advice? He traps him in a jar. He buries him in the garden. He throws a hammer at him. He feeds him to a crow. I'm guessing the jar. I'm guessing the jar. Is it jar? Somebody back me up so we can get our results here. Traps in a jar. Traps in a jar. Okay, I thought. Traps in a jar. See, I only know the Disney versions of all this stuff. So, okay. Here we go. Submit my answers. How do we do? Submit my answers. All right. We got Goldilocks. Yes. That was false. This is not a trick question. Goldilocks tasted but did not eat the father's or mother's porridge. It's too hot or too cold. Okay. Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, we got that one. We missed this one. Thumbelina. It was not Fiona. It was Maya. Is that how you say it? Maya. Maya. Oh, I don't know. Hansel and Gretel. Yep. Breadcrumbs. Oh, no. It was not Wrinkled Little Man, Rumpelstiltskin. It was Little Rattle Stilt. Wow, we got this one wrong, and I am not responsible for this one. The apple was not just red. It was white and red. White and red. The last trick the queen created was a poisoned apple, and in the disguise of a countrywoman, offered it to Snow White. Snow White was hesitant, so the queen cut the apple in half, ate the white part, which had no poison, and gave the poisoned red part to Snow White. That is a trick. All right, number 7, we got that one right. Grimm Brothers, you guys were right. 8, it's a troll for Billy Goat's Gruff. Yes, not mentioned on the 3 Little Pigs are on a roll. The Little Mermaid is Hans Christian Andersen. Great job. France for Beauty and the Beast. We are hot now. And yes, Bones for My Bread was correct. And Jack and the Beanstalk. We missed this one. She kisses him. Is not right. How can that be that this is not right? The princess throws him against the wall in disgust. The frog rescued the golden ball that belonged to the princess, and in return, she had to take him home with her. She was disgusted by the frog, and eventually, in a fit of temper, she threw him against the wall. Kissing him is a lot less violent, yet, as the saying goes, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your handsome prince. Is this true, you guys? I don't know about this one, but they said we were wrong. All right, got that one wrong. It was golden apples. She did not have a ruby, a diamond, an emerald. Last one. Are these trick questions or what? Traps him in a jar is wrong. See, because it's the original. Collodi's Pinocchio is much more of a rascal than the Disney's version. Here we go. He's a liar. As well as we all know, he's a runaway. And on top of that, he is a cricket killer. He does not appreciate the cricket's advice, and he throws a hammer at it, which kills the insect. Pinocchio is not so easily rid of the conscientious bug, which is a good thing for Pinocchio, who gets into all sorts of situations. So there were some real trick questions there, don't you guys think? We've got 9 out of 15. That is a D. Good news is we did better than the average, which is 8 out of 15. Wow. On my own, I would have got about 3 out of 15. So thanks for your help. But that was terrible. That was terrible. 9 out of 15. All right, let's go on to our good news segment here. I hope you've been hanging out for that, to keep us going on and motivated here in life. Most of the time, every episode, we open up God's word here at the end of our episodes, and we are in Psalm 143 today. I am using an iPad that has my Bible on it. You could use one like this, a regular Bible, paper kind. You can get something on your phone, on your PC or Mac. There's all kinds of different ways to get a Bible for free. This app is free, and it has all kinds of versions. You can highlight and make notes and all kinds of good stuff. So you might like it. It's a handy way if you're past using paper. I still mostly use paper, but for these episodes, I use this. So we're in Psalm 143, and I am going to find our verse here in just a second. But when you start off your day, where do your thoughts go usually at the beginning of your day? What is on your mind at the beginning of the day? Are you thinking about all the things you need to get done? Are you thinking about some good times that are ahead? Or maybe are you thinking about some things you want to avoid in life, or, some things you just don't want to deal with? What is it that you normally think about when you first start up your day? Well, our psalmist here, which is David, he's starting off his morning. We even read a little bit later into the psalm. If you read the whole psalm, he's starting his day off, and he is looking for God, and he is wanting to get connected with God. And I think that is a wonderful thing for all of us to want to do. Some of them, we have a lot of good things come up in life. We have a lot of things not so good, a lot of things that we want to enjoy and experience. And then there's the things we don't want. But you know what? We would be really smart if we chose to take God into each one of those situations. So I think as a practice, if we started our day off seeking God, that would be really good. So let's read what happens here. So we're going to read our verse. I'm going to pull that up for us. It is from the Psalms here, and I have the verse to share with you. Psalm 143. And I hope that each of you, including myself, that you hear from God today. So this is our verse. Now, if you read the whole Psalm, which is 12 verses, you could read it like in less than a minute. You see, David had a lot of enemies, and he had enemies that included his own father-in-law, one of his sons, a close, trusted advisor. And we don't know what stage of life that David was in right now. He could have been at the time that he was the king, or maybe it was when he was just a younger guy. But it seems that people were always causing David trouble. So this psalm is kind of a request to God to help him deal with his enemies. And also the psalm has to do with kind of praying and crying out to God. God, help me. So this is one of the verses, and it kind of spoke to me. This verse actually came up on the Bible app one day that they had a little teaching on it. And I started to think about it more and more, and I really thought it spoke to my heart. So it says, cause me to hear your loving kindness in the morning, for in you do I trust. Cause me to know the way in which I should walk. So here we are, David, again, it says he's wanting to connect with God. And when he first thinks of God, he's thinking of God's loving kindness. And with each and every morning, we get a new start. We get a fresh start. Yesterday is past. The darkness of the night before is gone. And the morning gives us a brand new chance to connect with God. So I like how David says that. You know what? Of all the things that come up, I want to connect. I want to connect with God's loving kindness. So think about that. How kind has God been? How good has God been to us? Now, the second part says, for in you do I trust. So I would think that David was probably remembering the times that God had been faithful to take care of him, even in the times of trouble when people were out to get him, when the enemies were pursuing him. David was still remembering God and what he had done for him, even when things seemed hopeless. So God was faithful. He protected David and he gave him victories, or he managed to give him ways to escape. But God was always there for David. Can you think back yourself to any times that God was there for you? Things that caused you to trust him, maybe some great things he did for you in the past. It is smart for all of us to take the time to do that. We get a lot of confidence when we remember what God has done for us in the past, because when we remember what he did in the past, it brings up that expectation that since God still loves us today, what is he going to do today to help us? Next up, it says, for I lift my soul to you, it says. Cause me to know your way. For in you do I trust. I missed a verse here. For in you do I trust. Cause me to know the way in which I should walk. I'm missing a part of my verse here. So there should be right next to, for in you do I trust. I apparently deleted a part, but it says, for I lift my soul to you. I'm going to read it here off here. I messed up. Sorry, everybody. So if you are looking at this verse, it is me missing a few words. So right after it says, for in you do I trust. Oh, here it says at the end, that's where I left it off. For I lift up my soul to you. So David was offering himself up to God, an act of surrender. And he said, God, I can't do this life alone. Do you ever get that feeling that you're alone and it's hard to go on? Like here, David had guys chasing after him, wanting to kill him. He had really serious enemies. Sometimes we have that feeling that we're alone and we can't go on. What's our best option? Let's surrender ourselves to God. What did he say again? For I lift my soul to you. Our soul, that's the real us. We lift our souls to God. We offer up ourselves to God. And as we do that, we're saying, I'm going to set my heart, my focus on you, God. I'm not going to get troubled by my enemies. I'm not going to worry about my problems, my to-do list, all the things I need to accomplish. No, I'm going to offer myself up to you, God. I want to connect myself to you. And then last, and I do have this on here, fortunately, cause me to know the way in which I should walk. Now, this is real basic. Cause me to know the way in which I should go. So ask God for direction. When you start off your day, ask God for some direction. Ask him to reveal his will for your life. This is really key that we know the direction, the will of God for us. We are reading about this I was at our men's Bible study today, and we were reading through John 4. Jesus has this encounter with this woman, and they have a conversation, and Jesus is encouraging his disciples to go share the good news of God's love with this crowd of people. And they question Jesus about him eating or if he's had food. And Jesus says, my food is to do the will of God and to finish the work that he has sent me to do. So we want to know what God's work is, what he wants us to do, and we want to be in his will, and we want to be faithful to do that, just following the example that Jesus set with us. So what again did it say? Cause me to know the way in which I should walk. So let me know what your will is for me, God, what you want me to do. And whenever we think about doing God's will, we want to we want to make sure that we don't just, when we know what God wants us to do, don't put it off. Let's do what God wants us to do. The best time is now, right? Get to it if it's possible. When you know what God is calling you to do, don't put it off. There's a real blessing and encouragement when you do what God wants you. When I do what God wants me to do, I don't know, I just kind of feel better about myself, and I feel more connected to God. And as we were talking before, it causes me to trust him more, that I can do the things he asked me to do. So, we might be like David, we might have enemies. The world that we live in brings us trouble and problems. It could be our environment. It could be another person. And sometimes our own worst enemies can even be ourselves, right? I know sometimes I can be my own worst enemies. Some of the choices we make or the things we do can really mess us up. So we have these things going on. But even as we're facing these things, our best bet is to get, I'm not gonna say bet, our wisest choice is to get connected to God, just like David did here in the morning. So to sum things kind of up here, we're in this spiritual battle. God's wanting to bless us. We have enemies wanting to trouble us, but it seems like things, again, as we mentioned at the beginning, life can be almost overwhelming, right, at times. But when you have these feelings, when I have these feelings, let's, again, remind ourselves that we're not alone. And like David, let's seek the love of God. And then let's remember what he's already done for us. So we're just kind of reviewing what was in the Psalm. And then we're going to offer up our lives to God. We're going to say, above all things, I'm going to put my focus on you. And then we're going to do what he has called us to do. So it's really, really practical, things that we can put into practice. Now, David, again, he mentioned the morning, and I think that is a great thing to start off the day, seeking God. It's great to seek him at night or in the middle of the day, but some things have already passed and we can't go back and fix those. So I think it's really wise of us, again, to start our day seeking God in the morning. And I think that's a really good time. But you know what? Even a better time is that we would start to seek him right now. So maybe we forgot to seek him in the morning, but those things we read right now, we can pray them even out right now. And so as a matter of fact, let's do that. Let's go ahead and we'll take a second here and we will pray together. All right. That God will guide us, bless us. Well, let's just pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for your word and that we can gather together like this. And thank you so much that you love us. And thank you that we can trust you. You have blessed us. You've been so good to us, so kind to us. And we're so grateful for all these things that you do for us. And it is our desire today, Lord, that we would hear from you and that you would show us what your will is for our lives, what you want us to do with each and every day, even starting right now. God, what would you have us to do? And then we would just offer up our lives to you. Just like Jesus said, that above all, finishing the work, doing what you have called us to do, that is the most important thing that we can do. So, Lord, thank you so much that you are greater than our enemies. You're greater than our problems. And then on the other side, Lord, thank you for all the blessings, all the wonderful things you do for us, the way you protect us, you love us, you watch over us, and take care of us. So again, we thank you for this day that you've given to us. Thank you that we could share this time together. And we praise you and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. That is a wrap. That is a wrap. Thank you for joining me today. If you have anything that you need to pray about, not that you need to pray about. If you need prayers for anything, add that in the chat. Okay. Add that in the chat. I will do a scan before I end up the stream and I will write down your prayer and I will pray for you. Okay. And then we can also pray for each other. So maybe you've seen somebody else mention something in there. It's really good that we all do that we pray for each other. All righty. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy St. Patrick's Day. I am going to stay away from the green beer and stuff. I think we're going to get tacos or something tonight. St. Patrick's Day tacos, huh? I hope God blesses you with a wonderful day. Like we said, let's seek him right now. When this day ends, think about tomorrow. When you wake up, are you going to get your focus on God? Are you going to seek him first thing? We've talked about this many, many times, I know, in the past. It's a good thing for us to do, to seek God, to start our days off with him. and then be excited about what he's going to do and have the faith and trust to know that he's going to bless us in all that we do. Yeah. Remember, always remember, God is for you. He's for me. He loves us and he wants the best for us. I'll see you again Thursday night, maybe for a bit on Crafting Corner. And I don't know what else we have going on this week. I know next week we'll do a new Fold It will come out. But right now, the brand new card kit is out. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had fun with the Double Z presentation. We got to work on our fairy tale quiz. I guess it's not something we have to know, but it might be helpful. And then I hope you enjoyed our good news devotional time together. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next week. Should be here for Take Two Tuesday. I think next week will be a not blurry version. We won't have to restart because I think I figured out what the problem is. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next week. God bless you all. Bye-bye.